First of all, let me congratulate the Hellenic-American Chamber of Commerce and the International Chamber of Commerce, HELLAS, for organizing today's event. Also, I would like to express my appreciation for their constant contribution in promoting not only exports and investments in Greece, but also our country's image abroad. In this regard, I would also like to thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity not only to address so many distinguished members of the Greek diaspora and talk to them about the recently introduced Greek tax incentives that may influence non-tax residents' decision-making. Ladies and gentlemen, since December 2019, the Ministry of Finance, under the coordination of the General Secretary of Tax Policy and Public Property, Ms. Athina Kaliva, has gradually formed a complete set of tax incentives for attracting new tax residents and investments in Greece. This new set of tax incentives consists of a quartet of measures which have already attracted great interest from investors, foreign pensioners, employees, entrepreneurs. The first tax incentives introduce Article 5A in the ITC, providing alternative taxation of individuals, investors, who transfer their tax residence to Greece for 15 tax years and is linked with the condition of investing in Greece a minimum of 0.5 million euros to be completed within 3 years. The alternative taxation consists in the payment of an annual lump sum flat tax for any foreign sourced income that covers the tax liability for this source of income. The second tax incentive introduced Article 5B in the ITC, providing the taxation of all foreign sourced income of foreign pensioners who transfer their tax residence to Greece with a 7% flat tax rate for 15 tax years. The third tax incentive introduced Article 5C in the ITC that exempts 50% of the income tax and special solidarity contribution imposed on the income derived in Greece from individuals who transfer their tax residence to Greece under the condition of being employed in new job positions or starting an activity as self-employed for 7 tax years. And finally, the fourth tax incentive, adopted on February, introduced Article 51G in the ITC that provides clear and transparent rules for the establishment and operation of family offices in order to manage cash flows and family property of individuals with tax residence in Greece. This relative joint ministerial decision for the services to be provided by the family offices will soon be published. Despite the fact that the aforementioned set of measures of incentives was introduced under extremely difficult conditions due to the COVID-19 pandemic consequences, data collected by the General Secretariat of Tax Policy and Public Property indicate that the new tax incentives can already be considered as effective and successful. Briefly, let me mention that during a 2-year period of implementation, the incentives for attracting new tax residents and investments in Greece generated in total revenue of approximately 9.4 million euros for the state budget through the final approval of applications submitted by 75 investors and 23 relatives of theirs. Furthermore, significant revenue is also expected to be generated and collected because of the large number of applications submitted by foreign pensioners as well as by employees and entrepreneurs. The tax due for these individuals will be determined with the submission of their annual tax returns in 2022. More specifically, 157 applications from 21 countries, including the US, have been accepted concerning the alternative taxation for foreign pensioners. Additionally, more than 1,000 persons have applied to opt for the special tax treatment of employees and self-employed, which was entered into force this year. Due to increased interest, deadlines for the examination, submission of the necessary documentation, and issuance of the tax administration decision concerning the tax incentive for employees and entrepreneurs were extended until end November. Besides, submission of applications for the first 3 tax incentive schemes was extended up to the 30th of September 2021 because of the increased interest and due to the difficulties caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, all of the above prove that taxation is an extremely useful tool to achieve goals concerning economic growth and investment, besides securing public revenue. Thus, tax systems have to keep pace with the rapid economic and social changes. The Greek government and the Ministry of Finance are fully aware of this need and are aligned with it. The tax incentives for attracting new tax residents and investment reaffirm this. I invite those of you who can take advantage of these incentives to seize the opportunity to the benefit of both you and our country. I know that Greece is deep in your heart, and I'm sure that you already are aware of the fact that recovery is gaining traction in Greece. Every recent international and domestic forecast suggests that our national economy is going not only to regain, but also to surpass its pre-pandemic GDP level in 2022. What is even more important is the consensus that our country is in the beginning of a dynamic and sustainable new phase in its economy. It's up to us to make Greece even stronger and to reorientate its economy towards a more productive, outward-looking, competitive, innovative, and resilient growth model. I'm convinced that altogether we can and we will achieve this. Thank you once again for the invitation.